Okay, so Darius, as far as markers, how I like to buy the colors because you can go all across the board. I choose your favorite colors, and for example, what's really nice combo with gray is green and orange. Those go really well with the grays if you buy those cool grays. So green and orange, but if you get a green and an orange marker, get two oranges, like a darker orange and a lighter orange, because when you combine a light orange and a dark orange, you can really achieve some very nice rich color. The same with the green. If you're getting greens, get two greens, whatever type of greens you like. A light green, like a really light green, and then a darker green, maybe a fern green. Probably not a pine green because I don't know. It's just whatever types of greens you like. And so that would be a start. Maybe some blues, a couple of blues. But what I really like is the very light colors. When I go blues, I go like sky blue or pale blue. Greens, I go for like a really pale green. And orange and reds, I stick pretty hardcore, good orange and a good reddish color. That's a good combo. Orange and red is a good color combo. But the reason why I like light is because when you render with light markers, it's very more forgiving. It's like when you're rendering with a light gray marker, it's way more forgiving. And so, and the drawings just look light and airy. And that's just, perhaps it's my style, but no, it's not just my style, but I like to really get the light markers. Just like I love playing, I guess Katarina's the same. I love playing with Cool Grade 1 and 2 because you can easily just layer coats and start building up those coats. The same with the light colored markers as opposed to gray.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I would personally, if you went to Blick, because that's who I normally go to, but Blick is, their house markers, they're way cheaper, but they're not great, but they'll do the job. They're not great. And Prisma are good, Copic are good. My ultimate favorite are Chart Pack or ad markers. They bleed like a crazy one though. I'm just warning you, and they smell a lot. So you get really high off them. Okay, so I have a, here, I don't know if you can see it. These are the ad markers, like it's a very big old fashioned marker from the 50s. It bleeds like a beast, stinks like crazy, but actually I like that smell. And this is just a very light marker. You can't even tell the color from the camera. And what's this one? I just pulled this one out. Beige. Beige is a very easy color to work with. You can put it on a lot of stuff. It really complements blue. Beige complements orange. So these kind of neutral colors are quite fun as well and easy to work with because, as I say, the beige is light, the sapphire blue is light, very, very pale, and it just makes, I don't know, I just like it. I don't like these hard reds, hard blues. It's just too aggressive for me, and I just like working with light stuff. So anyway, these ad markers, I don't know if they're expensive or not. I haven't bought them for a while, but these are my favorites. I don't know why. I just like the tip. I like the tip. They're really fat old tips right here. So fat tip. You can get really sharp lines with it because it's very sharp on the tip. And these are my favorite. But I'm warning you, they bleed like way more than anything else. So your work is going to come out more watercolory, a little more bled out of the lines. It's hard to be tight with these things when you're working on photocopied paper, which is mainly what I work on. If you're working with marker paper, it's going to add up in price, but if you're working with marker paper, these don't bleed. All right, hey, so Darius, just a quick one, and class, I'm going to get to it in just a sec, but Darius has done some bar stools here, and Darius, I just want to throw a context in there because it needed some spice, and but generally, it's good. Darius is doing great because he's showing some profile views. Oh, am I not sharing screen? Let me share screen. My bad. Share screen. And this. Okay, so Darius, yeah. Darius is doing great here with, he's showing some profile views. These are really easy to knock out profile views. Then some profile views of the head, the headrest. Putting in some humans in there. He's got not only just profile views, but he's also got 3D views. So that is all great, Darius. No complaints at all. And if you just were to do this, it would be pretty good, but I'm just saying it just needs a little extra spice. And an example would be something like, put it into a little bit of a context situation. So I'm just going to do this through, I'm just going to give you a little annotation through the default animation thing. So, okay, this is the floor. Okay, so that's the floor. And the bar height would be, okay, the dude wants to chill out. So I'm just going to draw an arm. So let's say he's leaning on the bar. So about this height. And then he's holding a drink. So the bar height is this height. Okay, here's his drink. So, okay, what I wanted to do was just, okay, I'm going to put this here just to know how high the bar goes. Let me erase out some of my little construction stuff, which is, let's erase that, erase that. So a little context is erase or draw. So I put that in, so, oops, draw. Get rid of this. What, draw? Okay, there we go. So the height, I guess, was about here. So, you know, you could do just a simple line, you know, that would also work. So let me try that again, but with, there it goes behind his back, here. So then you start getting some depth. Let me erase out that bottom line. Oops, there. Let's just erase out this one. F you. Okay. So now you're starting to get that little bit of 3D because there's the bar there. And,
Okay.
And then, I don't know, just simple, just use a ruler and just draw that bar. And a couple of glasses in here, you know, whatever. And something else back there. I'm just trying to put the context in there. I don't know, bottles of booze or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like it.
Maybe, I don't know, bowl of nuts. I don't know. But that would have added the spice and the context that we're looking at. And besides, the bar that you draw might even suit the bar stool. So this bar stool kind of looks like, I don't know, let's just say it could be a 70s style. I don't know. So maybe you would apply some 70s style graphics in the back. I don't know. And then, so that's adding flavor to give flavor to your chair. And it's also going to help you fill in your chair a little bit more too. So let's clear this. And then, so a little bit extra spice on, you know, so you can change the bar design basically. This one, let's go to that rodeo one. So this is,
Brooke,
yes?
can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, I just wanted to let you know that I'm here. I joined in late.
Oh, Advaith. Okay, cool. Thank you, Advaith. I'm just running through Darius's stuff quickly, and then we're going to get into the requests I think you made on Tuesday. So,
yeah, cool.
Darius, just to get those vibes. So, you know, you might have a background back here, and let's just call this the mechanical bull thing. And so maybe you'll have a more of a bar background, which would be more accordance to, you know, one of those Western town bars. You know, just giving it the flavors of the moods you want each chair to have. So this is that padded stuff they have in some of those old school bars, you know, with the little things. So anyway, those are the 3 tips I would add to give it a little bit more spice, a little more punch. So
Gotcha.
as a recap, a little bit of color, some context, which is the background, and I would put in a little more details, you know, into the seats a little bit, but
Okay.
But generally good homework.
Thanks.
Yep. Thank you, sir. Okay, Darius is good. Hey, Eli, are you in yet? Is Eli here? Okay, no Eli. So Darius. Okay, great. So as far as I understand, so on Tuesday we had our homework review, and there were some special requests of hands and humans and stuff. Oh, let me stop the share. Am I right? Was that Khan that was asking, or was that Adfaith?
I requested for like hands and figures, just things like that.
Right, hands and figures. Yep. Okay, not a problem. So we're going to get into that. I'm just going to go back to the attendance roster quick and just put in Darius. Sorry, Adfaith. Adfaith. Where are you, Adfaith? So Lucas is not here. No Lucas. Okay, Lucas. Eli, no Eli. Adfaith is here and Trace is here. Okay, present. And Trace.
It looks like Lucas is here. I'm not sure.
Wait. Oh, Lucas. Hey, bud, are you here? Well, I'm going to put you as here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. Great, Lucas. Cool. Okay, I got everyone. I'm just missing Eli. Nobody sees an Eli either. Okay, but we're good. Okay, perfect. So today we're going to demonstrate some human elements, like humans, how I draw them. I'm not great at humans, full disclosure. And hands, it takes me a little bit, but I'm going to show you some nice tips about hands. And obviously you draw those a lot, so pull out my sketchbook. And this little sketch demo, I'm gonna use the very light marker, and then I'm going to put on either Sharpie or ballpoint pen on top of the light marker. Because as I say, I kind of suck at humans. My hands I haven't drawn for a while. It takes a little while to get into it, but I'll get into it. Because I'm not fully confident with it, I'm going to start with this light marker first, and then build that up. Let me just get my camera going. So after this lesson, after this class, you all should start including humans and hands and heads. We did heads like I think last week a little bit. I can run over it again with you again if you need. But since we're having this lesson, now there's no excuse. You have to put in humans and stuff and ergonomic things. Okay. Okay. It's down so you can see me drawing. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. One sec. I can't find my mouse. That's a thing with having two monitors. Okay, wait. I need to turn on my camera first. Okay, good. Screen sharing, and I'm just gonna share the visualizer, just the camera app. Find a sketch to get focused on. Okay, we're good. Okay, let's start with, let me warm up with humans. So I'm gonna start off with a light gray. I don't know, I've got a cool 60, I've got a cool 40, and let's try a cool 20 and see if you can see these things with the camera. This is a scrap piece, whatever, it's fine. But I will put a piece of paper underneath because I'm tired of wasting my sketchbook. Okay, because it bleeds through. Okay, just test out. Let's try the cool 40. I think that'll be fine. Okay, so humans. So how I draw the humans. Can you see that? Yes, you can. I draw the humans and I just have a general idea about the proportions. And I don't have a rule for this, and I know there is a rule. But I start off with circles. Basically, if I'm drawing a human straight, this is his side view. So to show he's a side view, here's his chin. And then so I just join the dots. So that's his thigh, that's his calf, and the foot underneath there. Maybe that needs to be higher. And then arm is, the shoulder is not directly in the middle, but it's more towards the back. And then, oh, and a hand. So that's basically how, so, and the reason why I like, he looks a little short and stubby, but whatever. At least it's kind of correct. So the reason why I like working with stick people is because it's a very easy perspective when you have a situation where the person is sitting. So for example, if I put this in a 3D, it's all ellipses. So a head, and it'll get 3D in a sec, a chest, the hips, pelvis, and let me start putting in. So there's another ellipse here, which is the arms. That's where his shoulder is. There's another ellipse here where his hip is. And so now I can put in the legs in 3D, in perspective, basically. So the easy way to draw 3D feet is a shape like that. Let me, okay. And then so the arms, whatever the arms might be doing. And the hands. So it's easy to put this person in perspective with the stick character. And remember, from last time, the head is a little bit in perspective there. Here's his eyes. His nose is underneath. So that's how I draw the 3D. Let's do a person sitting down in a chair. So this is a chair. The back is not 90 degrees, it's slightly angled. And let me just draw this perspective to show you how fun drawing human stick people is in perspective. So there's my perspective. So we'll put his butt down there. We'll put his chest back there. Put his head up there. Start to get that 3D element in. So there's his head. Here's his shoulder. Here's his hips. And so the legs are easy. So the knee comes about here. If you're sitting in a chair, your knees are a little bit proud of the edge of the chair. So you've got to look at yourself as well. Look at yourself and see how far your arms go down. So I don't know if you can see me, but I'm checking out how far my arm goes down, and it nearly hits my knee. And my elbow is about where my muffin tops are. So you know, these type of proportions, and I just eyeball it. I don't know the proportions and ratios, but anyway, kind of look at yourself, to kind of figure this stuff out. And see how you're sitting in the chair. Put your back right up to the back of the chair, and notice how your knees are a little few inches proud of that seat. So anyway, notice how the knees are in perspective, and then put down his calves. His ankles are in perspective, and then his feet will be in perspective. And so I like to do feet basically like that, because that's basically what a foot is shaped like. And then his arms, maybe there's an armrest on here. Let's just put an armrest in. So maybe my armrest is a little bit wacky. And then here's his wrist, and then his arm is hanging down, kind of hanging down. So let's put this guy's other arm. The elbows are in perspective. The wrists will be in perspective. And then his arms, his hands are hanging down like that, casual. So this is the stick stuff. But then if I want to start fleshing this thing out, then, well, this guy is actually screwed up. I see his legs are too short. But anyway, let's say I want to flesh this out. And what I do is, so one of the techniques is just adding ellipses where the arms are. You know, around the biceps are a little bit wider, around the forearms a little bit thinner, the same with the legs. So now I've got some basic volume. But now if I want to put clothing on, then I start to just straighten all this stuff out. And just straight lines. Humans are, I basically like to draw the humans as straight lines. There, his chest. I'm not going to mess with that right now, but I am going to put his pants on. And there's little things like how the pants fit around the foot. There's kind of like a little shape in there. And then so bring that down. And then the other side you won't see much. But once again, a little archway where the foot comes out. So there's that. And then the rest of his body just straight. And then around his neck, just a simple kind of partial ellipse. And then some shoulders. Put in some, I don't know, wrist, like cuffs, whatever. And so that's basically how I draw a human. Same with, let's go this 3D one, the sitting character. So arms, basically, they're ellipses. And you recreate that ellipse, you even double out, and I'll get on this with pen so you can see more clearly. But around the wrists is like an ellipse, basically, because it's basically an ellipse right in here. Let's just say, and then up here, you don't see the other side. His legs, an ellipse, and here, ellipse. So it's basically ellipses, and then here, ellipse, and ellipse, and down the bottom. Or you can do the full type of ellipse to generally get it all. But I like to use ellipses to describe necks, to describe wrists, around elbows. There's what's it called, like wrinkles in there. There's wrinkles inside the jeans here, and I'll get in there with a Sharpie. And then, as I was saying, there's that shape that goes around the foot, like how jeans fit around legs, and a neck. A neck is curved, and strong shoulders. Okay, so to clarify it a little bit more, I'll get in there with a Sharpie to show you how I'm talking about these ellipses. So this is his bone structure, basically his bones. And what I can do is around his legs, before his knees, and then just put in, and then around his shoes, basically. And the shoes come down here. Underneath his legs. And then there's creases in there. There's creases in here where the fabric gathers around so wherever the fabric gathers, like under his armpit, there's semicircular ellipses, because, you know, the fabric gathers in there. And then so let's put his hands hanging down, his thumb, and then so this should be in perspective, basically. There's going to be some wrinkles in there where the fabric is gathering. his chest. Okay, so another ellipse around his neck, because let's just say his neck is circular. You cut it. And eyes, nose, mouth. Oh, and then so this part's always a little shady for me. So whatever. So an ellipse around his neck, and then okay, so maybe he has a button-down shirt, and in which case he'll have some collar. Once again, another ellipse, a tie, but let's just give him some buttons. And so I'm just gonna finish it off like that, and I'm good enough. I don't need to get crazy because I'm not an illustrator. So that's how, and then I'll just put in that chair behind him. And some legs. And I don't see the legs behind there. And I don't see the legs behind there. So, oh, let's just add his hand hanging down. And his thumb, wait, hold on. I have to recreate my own hand. I have to be like, the thumb's on the inside. All right, good to know. Okay. Now, as far as this one is concerned, let's see if I can flesh him out. So I'm gonna change it a little bit because I'm not totally happy with it, but thank goodness I did it with the light marker to start with. Hand, neck, square shoulders, let's do his chest, and his shirt's hanging down, which is another ellipse. It goes, let's say he's doing a t-shirt. Oh, he's got not a t-shirt, but that's one hand, and here's his thumb. And this one, I'm just gonna go quick in there and just put these in straight where his shoes are. So looks like his head's a little bit forward, but anyway, that's how I do it. If I break it down, you can say that there's an ellipse here. There's an ellipse here. They're like pipes. There's an ellipse here, and an ellipse here, an ellipse here, an ellipse down here, maybe a little bit further down, because his leg bends, so there's going to be ellipse here, and then the foot. So I very rarely draw the whole person because, well, no, I draw the whole person, but stickman, because it's the easiest for me. And let me do another stickman, but this time this guy's proportion, he's got really short legs. Let's start off with his pelvis. I like to exaggerate generally the legs to make it look more like superhero, just to something like that. The back, chest, the head, and his arms back here. And let's just make him a little bit more cash. The toes bend up. So kind of, so now we get a little more some butt, 3D, just start fleshing out his arms, nose. So let me flesh that in and see what that looks like. Doesn't look great to me, but let's try. Neck. Chest comes out. Shirt comes down to what, waist? And it kind of kicks out at the bottom. Then the leg kind of sticks out like that. This is with jeans. A little bit of bell bottom, and his other arm. Thumbs up. Okay, so, and then under here, a few little creases underneath his arm. There's a little curve going on up here. And then his back, nose, mouth, eyes. God damn. This looks like horrible. Okay, there. Maybe some shadows. Shadow of his hand. Shadow of his other behind the leg. Just shade that in. Shadow underneath his arm and his other bit. Underneath the arm, probably leave it at that. This one is going to be a little bit shaded underneath his arm. It's going to be a shadow underneath his neck. A little bit of shadow on this leg that's behind. And some feet. I hate doing the other foot. Some shoelaces. So there we go. And some hair. So I'm just doing male here. So typical sideburn, something going around his ears. And so that's the basic shape of, you know, depending on sideburns, depending on all that stuff. But let's just say a little bit flat because it's a hairstyle. And so, and if I do the hairstyle on this bloke, goes down like this around his ears, and then let's do a little flat, little parting. And so that would be him. And I'll do a girl as well. But I think I'm better at drawing them in. But I suck at all of them. So hairstyle, let's do this one flat top. Oh. Sideburn around his ear. Nose, chin, shadow. Shadow under here, shadow under here. Shadow under his arm. Shadow underneath his legs. No, underneath his shirt. Something in the back. But there's some wrinkles underneath where the leg bends. Let's do something a little bit, some wrinkles back here. I would like to take a CCS character drawing class. And I say I'm gonna do it every year, but I never do it. Some shadow underneath his pants, and then whatever. Maybe a pocket. Some pins. I don't know. So that's how I draw humans. So did you guys get that?
Yeah, thank you.
So the takeaway of this is basically I just do stickmen. That's all I really need to do, but then it's relatively easy to flesh it out with cylinders. You can do ellipses if you want, and then cylinders. But I use these little suggestions of ellipses to help give it some volume. So that's the takeaway on that. Now, hands. Let's do some hands. Okay, sometimes just a silhouette is good enough for hands, and that's the easiest. Basically, hand is I don't want to get, no, we'll get into fingers, but let's have an overview. Hand, let's just get into orthographics. So let's just say this hand is grabbing this pipe. It's a pipe. So what I do is, hold on, I actually look at my own hand, and quite often I grab a pipe or something, but that's actually how I do it. I could wing it. Okay, I'm gonna do a wing job right now. So I know that the middle finger is the longest, if you can, the normal stuff. Middle finger is longest. These two are about the same. Pinky's obviously shorter and then thumb's weirdo. So I start off with maybe the middle finger, and then, because it's the longest, and then the forefinger, a little bit shorter. This one about the same as the main finger, and then the pinky is really thin and small. And hold on. So they're there, and then the thumb is somewhere back here. So I apologize for this crappy drawing, because I actually reference my own hand a lot, and when I do that, I'll do better. So let me do another. Let me hold something. A glass. All right, I've got a glass here. Well, it's kind of confusing. Let me do this. Let me do this can. So what I'll do, well, I'll tell you honest truth, is when I'm doing, sometimes I have to do some things like this. So I want to do, somebody needs some icons for a website or an app or something. 1, 2, 3, 4. What I actually do, so I just winged that, of course. I always like to put a wrist watch or something in there because it just helps. But, oh, let's just, some shading underneath each one of these. And then a fingernail for this one. So, but what I really do, if I'm really doing something very, instead of cartoony, this might be fine for certain things, but for realistic stuff, I photograph my hand. So I had to do a whole bunch of hands. I had to do pointing up, pointing down, doing thumbs up on this side, thumbs up on this side, handshaking. So what I actually did was I got onto a white wall behind me, and I got my wife to photograph this. Then, so I needed a handshake. So my wife and I, we shook hands, held it there, and I took a photo. And then when I take that photo, if I need really realistic hands, that's how I trace it. And sometimes you do need really realistic hands. But as I say, it'll take a little bit of time to warm up into it, but let's just keep going. This kind of sucks a little bit, but maybe I can save it. But it's good enough. It's good enough for, a quick demo of how this person holds this pipe or grabs this thing. I know a lot of you people are doing power tools. So let's just say they're grabbing a pipe like this, like a flashlight, or so I know the thumb kind of goes like this. Thumbs like that, and so let me just check it out myself. Thumb is there, and then the hand, the fingers curl around. So then I would go, I just kind of, I'm looking at my own hand, by the way. There's a middle finger, and there, and the little pinky. And that would have gone up like that, and so his thumb would be here. So now let me just, so that's how I would have winged it. And then I don't know, you have your contraption down here, like your rotary stuff, whatever. So just, okay. So let me just try to draw another hand, just like how I'm just gonna feel this one out because it's also made of a bunch of cylinders. So if I did a stick hand, just like I did with the stick humans. So I'm doing a stick hand now. You know, there's these 3 bones. This bone, this bone, and this bone. Each one is its own cylinder. This is the middle finger, this is the forefinger, this is the other finger, and then this is the little pinky. So what I do, this is gonna be, who's that guy? Not Friday the 13th, Freddy Krueger. So you can draw a bunch of cylinders, which is also a great way to learn how to draw hands. So let's just put in these cylinders, and the top of your finger, this is a side view is like this. That's how fingers look. So when you get down to the tips, it's kind of like a little bit straight at the top. And finally, the little finger, little tiny guy. So let's just put in these cylinders in here. And then finally, the big guy up here. Cylinder here. There. And then the thumb is just an oddball, and I'm just going to put it back there. The hand kind of puffs out a little bit here, so your finger comes down and it puffs out a little down here. So it kind of puffs out down there. And let's put a wristwatch on there. Because I love doing the ellipses because it helps just confirm my hand. So let's just flesh this in now. Now this one overlaps a little bit. And this one also overlaps one little bit. And then the little pinky. So that doesn't look great at all. But let's try another one. It's kind of fun. So, so sometimes you're going to draw stuff like, to show scale, you're just going to draw a simple hand, just a flat hand. So let's say, all right, maybe you can't draw a hand holding, maybe you can't draw a hand doing 3D stuff, but let's just say, let's have, so I like to draw a hand. Okay, if you're just doing a silhouette of a hand, which is one of my favorites, I use this all the time. It's like that. This is the middle finger right in here, because this is tallest. This is the forefinger, and here is this finger, and then finally the pinky. So I often just draw silhouettes. So let's say we're gripping another thing. We're going to grip another tool. So this is a pipe. And so what I quite often do is this. Hold on, I have to look at my hand. I just do this. Put in a silhouette, his middle finger, then his other fingers, bring that around, bring it up here, and then so it's holding, and then it goes up, and then so the thumb. So this is the silhouette approach, and sometimes that's all you need. There, and then And this is what I mostly do. I don't go into all the fingers, generally speaking, because it gets a little complicated and I can't draw them that well. So maybe that, and there's his thumb working the switch, whatever. So silhouettes are very great. Let's do another silhouette of, so fist, okay, hold on. Let's just do a silhouette on this particular hand. Okay, and so the reason why I keep drawing this shape around the thumb is because the thumb jolts out. So your thumb is this curvy thing. Your thumb is generally, side view is like it's curved and then it's like this. That's a thumb. And then of course the fingernail. But so I'm drawing this hand, put in that ellipse back there. And so that's what I would do that in a contextual situation like let's say there's a cell phone down here. So now I'm doing a cell phone. This is a cell phone. And maybe then now maybe I can start putting in, and then the fingers wrap around. So here's the first knuckle. The knuckles all kind of line up. So let's just do that. So, and his other fingers are kind of wrapping around because he's kind of pointing like this. It's kind of pointing like that, something. So he's working his cell phone. So that's the long one. Then there's this one, and then a little bit of a kick in here. So that might be another way. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to. I'm so silly because sometimes I have to. 1, 2, 3. Sometimes I have to count the fingers because I draw like 6 fingers sometimes. Let's try that silhouette approach one more time. This time with another hand. So this one is pointing, kind of, but then, so here's his joint, his knuckle, this knuckle, then this knuckle, and then this knuckle. So, and therefore now I know that that is where these knuckles are. So this one's like this one's like this, kind of like that. And then so it kicks in here, and then it curves around the palm because the palm kind of has a bulge. And there, and there, and there. So, and then there's this, some fingernail back there, make that a little bit longer. And then if I want to go in there a little bit more, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so maybe that's how I would do kind of a pointing. Maybe it's working on a cell phone. Again, let's just do another cell phone. And let's just shiny, because cell phones are shiny generally. Some background. And then, so we can put in a little bit of shading. And then of course I do that watch because that helps reconfirm that it's a wrist. So that silhouette effect, silhouette approach is very, very nice. Let me try some hands with a Sharpie now. So what's a very typical drawing? Okay, so if I'm gonna draw this situation of him drawing, I'm really gonna hold this thing and I'm gonna draw this thing. So firstly, I'm gonna draw the pen. Just with a straight line, a couple of straight lines. I don't need to get into that yet. And I see the finger is coming all the way down. I'm just gonna go light and loose. There, that's the forefinger. Then the thumb is joining in here, and it kind of goes here, and then it goes up. Oh, hold on. Just gonna rough this in. Oh, by the way, so most things are ellipses, and so you see the creases on my knuckles here, and the creases coming from underneath my hand here. these are basically ellipses that show how the things work. So let me see if I can pull this thing off. So here's the first joint here. There's a second joint there, and then finally this one here. You don't see anything behind. It kind of arches. And then the pen comes out. Oh God, I'm making a real hash of this. And then let's just try this. God, I'm making a hash of this. I should have done it with the, let's just do this. I've screwed that one up. I would continue with this just to be a little bit more confident. Let's try this one more time. I'm not giving up on this, no way. And I'm gonna start drawing on this paper. I don't need this in my sketchbook. Okay, so drawing a pen. Okay, let me try again with the marker. Here's the pen. Pen. That's where the first section is, the second section, the third section. And it kicks over. So that's that part. And then the thumb, it kind of overlaps my finger here. Comes here and up. And then, okay, then it kicks around. So there. That's where the other part of the finger is. Gets thin, the thumb gets thinner inside here. So there, and thumbnail, and it kicks down, and then this thing goes down. There's another knuckle down there. Let's just draw that pen in. Gosh damn it. I'm embarrassed. Okay. Well, I would basically draw, and if I'm having trouble with this, which I am a little bit, you know, full disclosure, oh, and don't forget the fingers that are sticking down underneath. So what I would do is I would just photograph my hand, depending on what situation I need, and I'll photograph it multiple times, and then it makes a really fun way of designing your object. So let me find something else. Let me hold my cell phone. Well, I need my cell phone. Let me hold something else. I'm gonna hold this bottle, and now I'm gonna go through all the processes. So there's a bottle. I'm just gonna take a flattering picture of my hand. Okay, so I want to hold it like that. And I'm going to get my wrist, my clothing all kind of so it works. Oh, I've got my watch. Okay, so blank background. And I want to hold it like that. Get myself all arranged nicely. Okay, do a quick snap. Okay, and now I'm going to share. I'm going to share my screen to show you how it's very quick to do this, because ideally you don't want two crappy hands. So if you can't pull them off, just cheat it. Desktop. Okay. And so my desktop is there. Let's go into the Photoshop. Just takes a sec. In the meantime, I'm going to send this via Bluetooth. Actually, I love drawing hands when I have a photo. So let me send this to you, myself by Bluetooth. Send it to my phone, my Mac. So it's downloading. I often take a picture of myself to just gaze in wonderment about the awesomeness. No, I'm joking. I often take a photograph of myself to use it as a reference, and I can completely show you an example of it right here. Just let me go to my Behance. I was talking to somebody about this earlier, like earlier this week. Behance. Let's go. Let's find myself. Oh, where am I? Broke Bantam. Oh, people. Let's just see what I've got here. Come on, load. Oh, maybe I have to press this. Okay. Come on, where are you? Yeah, where is this? Because you'll be able to totally see me. Oh, here. Okay. Bag design. So just a bag design and a functional bag design where you can get your cell phone easily. If your cell phone in your bag, and you can easily flip it up. That's the whole point of this type of concept. Okay. But here, so before I actually,
I don't think that you have the visualizer up.
Oh, are we on the visualizer? Oh, my bad.
I'm not sure. I don't see the right screen, I don't think.
Hold on. Maybe we're on the visualizer. Okay, let me stop that. And I'm going to share my desktop. I thought I was on desktop, okay, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so here, I mean, it's kind of obvious that it's me because of my hair. But so before the bag was made, what I did was I went in front of a mirror and I put on another bag, another, generic bag. So I had it there. So I had the proportions. I take a photograph of myself. And I knew that I had this concept of a flap coming up to hold the phone. Basically, this is what you missed. So, okay, this is a bag design. And I was trying to think of some innovations, how to break up the bag. And so this is a flap that flaps up to hold your cell phone, okay? So you don't have to get it out, and you can still touch the phone through the plastic. And there it is. So if you open up the bag, there's like this hole in there where the cell phone flap is. And then there, you hold your laptop and your mouse and whatever stuff in this bag. Okay, so anyway, these are some renderings I did for just very simple Photoshop Illustrator stuff, graphics, creating graphics in there. But, so I knew I had the concept of this flap right here. I knew I had this flap. So what I did was I put on some sort of bag, another messenger bag or record bag, whatever you want to call it. I have a few of them. And I just positioned my hands where I knew I want the cell phone and then just drew it all in. But I obviously traced myself with my hair, and that's just me. And I used a fake bag and just filled in all the details. So that's how I was managing to draw myself well and the hands well. There I am, dealing with something, but my hands are drawn well. That's just because I photographed myself. So that is basically, how I draw the humans. So if I really needed to go very smart and tight, then I would do that. I mean, and I love the iPad because what I can do is I can just photograph something with my iPad in the mirror, and then on the iPad, I don't have to print anything or I don't have to trace anything, and I just draw directly on the iPad. Let's just try a couple more hand silhouettes because those are the easiest. So the knuckles, the thumb, and then they tuck under the fingers. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Brooke, I can't see again.
Oh,
Sorry.
God. Yeah. Sorry. I'm like, thank you, Sydney. Thank you. I'm sorry. My bad. My bad. Okay. But thank you for calling it out on that because I need that. Just kind of zone into my world. Oh, visualizer. Here we go. Okay, visualizer. So if we block in hands as far as straight edges, so let me try again. So this is making a fist, and I was starting off with a basic box, and then putting in my 3 fingers, and then so this little finger comes in, and then there. Oh man, hold on, let's try something. Let me just try to draw a damn hand. So that's the thumb hand, and then the fingers are, so the big ones here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then so now I can start fleshing in that. So I just start with that type of, let's just try another look. So it's just a silhouette look. There's the watch. And so one, two, three, four, five. Trying to break them into, so there's this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's straight, down, and down, straight, down. 1, 2, 3, and then here. 1, 2, 3. Let's put some shadow on there. Okay, there. There's the other. Okay, I'm kind of embarrassing myself a little bit. Let's try something else. Let's try. So basically, silhouette of a hand is actually on its own is quite easy, like this. But as I say, I kind of just draw my own hand. So the knuckles are there. Oh God, I need to. I don't know. Oh. Okay, here's one more attempt. So there, that's the first knuckles, second knuckles, third knuckles, fourth knuckles. So that's basically how I do them, even though I kind of sucked a lot of these up. I'll start off with the silhouette. And a silhouette can get you far. Let's just try holding a mouse. This is a right hand now. Let's do a mouse. Let's see if I can just wing it with a product. And then the hand, like forefinger. No, let's just do the full silhouette. These are that's the first ones, second ones, third ones. One, two, three, four. And this is a mouse. Anyway. Sorry, I'm not so. Okay, well, that's how I'd wing it if I had to wing it. But if I didn't have to wing it, I'd photograph my hand. But let's just see what my hand looks like. And now that I have a photo of my hand, I'm going to send it to the computer. And I'll share my desktop now. I'm going to stop that and get my desktop so you can see everything. Let me try another one also. I'm going to hold this like that. I'm going to take another photo. And I'm going to hold that pen. Okay. I'm going to send these to my computer. Share screen. Desktop. Share. Okay, so you see my desktop. Here we go. I'm going to send this to myself. This picture. Actually, let's go into. I'm going to send a couple of pictures to myself. Share that and that. And share. Bluetooth. MacBook. Okay, should come. So just give it a second for it to come through. If I have to really get detailed in the hands, if I have to make it really a smart thing, then I would do this approach. I'm going to Photoshop and open that first one. Wait, I'm going to use Bridge. It's in my downloads. Okay, take that into Photoshop. One. And the second one right here. Okay, I've got two hands. I'm good with this. And so what I'm going to do is turn it into grayscale. Image, mode, grayscale. Because I don't want to have to print all those colors because it's just too much expensive. Okay, discard. And
did you want us to see your screen or?
yeah, I'm cool. You can see my screen, can't you? Yeah.
I'm just seeing the gallery view of everybody in Zoom right
Gosh,
now.
damn it. No, I did not want that. I wanted the other one. Here, it's fine though. Because I wasn't doing anything. I was just uploading an image. Let's see, screen share. Okay, I'll stop that. Screen share. I didn't mean the gallery. There. I wonder why I'm. Okay, there we go. So downloaded this image. Now you can see my Photoshop. And my desktop. No.
I don't see it.
Reading on it.
Wait, hold on. What's going on?
The black.
Just a black thing. Now can you see
Seems
it?
like it's still loading.
Really, no kidding. Oh, okay. I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna stop the sharing. Okay. I don't know what's going on. All right. There's no sharing going on. Let me start over and try to share my desktop. There, desktop. Now, share. Okay, can you see my Photoshop now?
Yay, yes.
Okay, so that's a photograph of me holding the thing, and I just turned it grayscale. So here I'm going to do the same. I'm going to show this hand. I'm going to turn this into grayscale, image mode, grayscale, discard color. And what I'll do is I'm just going to print this out. But before I print it, I'm just going to erase out some of this stuff. And what I mean by that is just take an eraser and a big airbrush eraser and just erase out all of this. Because then I can actually add my own design in there. So I'm good enough with this because I'll print it off light enough and I'll just maybe get some levels in there just to see if I can pop it off a little bit more. I'm good enough with that. And let's just print. Oh, I'll turn it down first. I'm gonna make it very much lighter. So Photoshop, I'm going to bring this underneath. So I have a white background, solid color. Because now I can reduce the opacity of this without having that checkerboard stuff behind. So let's reduce that, and I'm good. Print. Let's just try this again. I don't know what's wrong with me. I was so on fire earlier. Okay, there we go. Now let's print. Scale to media, and that looks good to me. Print. Let's just do the other one as well to have a slightly different hand situation. So I'm going to make a solid color background, solid color, white. Put this in front. And erase out this garbage. Oopsie. Erase out this garbage. Okay, I'm good. Reduce the opacity. Okay, I'm good. Print. And that looks okay to me. Okay, print. Okay. I'm going to take this down a wee bit more because it's too dark. I can see it right here. I can see it's too dark. There, that's better. Okay, let me try to print one more time, and I will swap over to my camera. Okay, that looks way better. And this guy. Reduce this one down a little bit more. And print. Okay. Okay, I'm going to swap over to my camera now. Should be underneath here. Okay, my camera. So there's that. And streaming context. Okay. So here we have a hand, and now this is going to be way easier. So inside here is, I'm just going to straight lines. I like to go straight lines. This is my device. Let's just get a ruler. This is something inside my hand, whatever it might be. I don't know what it is. Let's just put it in there. There and here. Oh, got the one inside. There. There's a fingernail in here. Fingernail here. Fingernail here. You can barely see it. I can barely see it myself. Straight lines, straight line, straight line. Just about a straight line. There. Wrist wrinkle. Shirt cuff. I can't even see. Okay, and so I'll just put in details on my design, and I'll really focus on the design more. Maybe it's a laser finder. Really focus on that. Put those details in there. And go around in the dark areas of the hand. Shadow underneath the thumb. Shadow underneath the thumb, I mean the little pinky. Shadow. And there. A little shadow in there, a little shadow in here. Inside of here. I don't want to go too far into the hand because I'm really trying to focus on the device. So this is a light, flashlight, and then maybe some details in here. Okay, I'm good. So that's the easiest way if you really need something accurate. But if you don't need it accurate, you can wing it and just do the things that I was showing you earlier. But now you can see why I wanted to do some character design stuff, because I'd really like to be able to draw superheroes and stuff nicely. There's that one. Let's try, oh, I've got another printout. We'll do one more. One more. So let's get in this product, and I'll do something a little bit different, not just this bottle, but maybe it focuses. I'll make it different shape. So I'll put it pressed in the thumb. I know you can barely see it, but same here. I can barely see it as well. But I'm just watch. And that's all I really need to do. Is I don't need to put in any more details. except for my product. So maybe this is a pill bottle, I don't know. There, maybe there's like some details in here. It shows the amount of medicine I have in here. And I just make it look round. Shadow on the product, but I'm not focusing on the hand. There. And then just, I don't know what's going on in here. Okay. So that's how I would approach, you know, super, super clean. Don't focus on that hand because you might screw it up. And secondly, you're focusing on this product. Maybe it opens. Okay, let's try one other thing. Let's try feet. Let's do feet. Feet. Hopefully I have better luck with the feet. Let me get some more paper. Feet, I should be able to do, because I've done so many shoes. Okay, feet. Once again, I'm going to use this light marker. This is a cool 40. So feet, I think, are really nice. By the way, I don't have a foot fetish at all, but there's no buts. I definitely don't have a foot fetish. But I do think feet are very beautiful. They have this really beautiful form. So, you know, it's just it's boaty, it's kari, it's dynamic. So I really love to just draw the silhouette of feet. And then the ankle sticks out and then it comes in here. And after you've drawn a few shoes, then you'll be able to draw these feet real nice. If you can just draw foot to start with. So how you do this is download images of people wearing white socks. The feet, just wearing a white sock so it's pure. You don't have to deal with all the toes. Download some sock images with feet in the sock, male and female, different looking feet, and then draw that sock. And then on top of it, then you start adding all your, you know, gizmos and whatever. But
can you adjust the like exposure?
Yep. Exposure. Let's just turn this down. There we go. So I'll draw another one. Yep. Let's draw another one. So I always start with the toes, the arch of the foot, and then the ankle. This is the bottom. And then I know how the ankle kind of cuts in and then it goes up. And then so toes kind of flat. So and then so now you can start putting in laces. Details. Now you put in a sole. And okay, so I start off with that foot and let's try another angle. So it kind of goes up and then up like that, and then so toes kind of stick out. It's kind of flat there, and then the big toe is here, and then as it curves around, exaggerate some elements of it, like the heel. It's kind of sharp at the heel down there. Okay, and so there I've got the basic silhouette of a foot. Then I can put in some laces, some sole. Well, so you know what? At this point, I would start getting in with the pen. Let's just put in some just very classic details. I'm not going in here for crazy design. So now let me just get in there with a Sharpie and start fleshing that out a little bit. Some laces. Eye stays. The eye stay, the inside of the throat. And some details around the ankle. And shadow. Now, let me try to draw a foot with just those Sharpie. And some sole. Some collar, tongue. Some eyelets. I'll start off with the eyelets. There's normally 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll go round. And shadow. This looks like potato, but I'm gonna try to fix it. Eyelets. Let's do something, I don't know, cheesy. Let's put in some of this stuff. But drawing silhouettes of shoes, feet is really, really fun, basically. But this is not the sexiest, but it gets the idea across.
You do a running position?
Yep,
I see a lot.
running position. So it's like very toe down. Let's see, 20, pull 60, pull 40. So the running position, firmly planted toes, and then the ankle because the foot, the leg is so there. Lunging. And then as far as the sole, something like that. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's normally 6 eyelets, by the way. I just saw it. It's a tongue. As far as 3D, it would be something like this. Just a lot of adjustments. And let's just do a little shadow back here to show that it really is. Like that. And the eyelets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then sole. And what pieces are in here? There. There. Okay. It's kind of a more walking. So I would say this is a side and this is a little bit of front 3/4. But I don't encourage drawing that position that much. It's very dynamic, but really when you're presenting shoes, you're gonna really want to have it not all distorted with that. You can't see the clean lines when you're doing shoes. By the way, I can do a shoe demo for you next week if you want, but let me say something about this, Sydney. So they want to see what the shoe looks like in its static state. So you cannot see the lines. So let's say you have some pieces and some eyelets. So you do see a lot of people drawing this type of thing, but it's actually it's not very useful because the marketing people and people who are your bosses want to see what these lines look like. And if you start screwing up the toe, you're going to mess up how all these lines work. So generally we don't do that, but you see a lot of people doing it, but it's honestly not useful. It's just like a little bonus.
Good to know.
What time is it? 2:30, and this class ends just
3:30.
3:30. All right, let me just have a quick little break. So I was all stressed out about shitting up the whole thing with stupid hands. Okay, bear with me 1 second. I'm just gonna grab a drink quick and go for a quick break. I'll be back in just 1 sec. Okay, I'm back. So, let me just share my screen so I can sketch something else. So, do you have any other like requests as far as? I mean, I was kind of pissed with myself that I was drawing these messed up hands a little bit. Feet, some shoes. I'll scan this in reluctantly. Hands. Look at that. Damn, it sucked. Okay, anyway. We're doing hands. Let's there's okay, here's a good one that I'm gonna show you. And it's a nice perspective way of doing humans sitting side by side. So I'm once again going to use Cool 40. And so I'm going to put in a quick perspective. These are two people sitting together in like either a love seat or a car or a, and I'll show you how well the perspective works with these stick people. So two people sitting together. So I'm going to start off with their hips. Put them next to each other.
You might have to switch screen shares again.
Okay, thank you. Let's try again. And desktop. No, I'll go to the visualizer. And I hope this works. Okay, can you see?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, great. So start over. So this is like two people sitting together, and to really express how this perspective works nicely. So I'll just put down a very quick perspective grid. And let me just adjust this so it doesn't keep swapping out, because I need to get this locked in, exposure, and lock it in. So maybe if I go darker, okay, whatever, because it is very light. By the way, there's a lot of banging going on. They're working on our roof, so there's people above us. So you hear banging. Okay, quick perspective grid. And let's start off with their hips. So there's one hip and there's another hip. And so I put in a backbone, a little bit of a backbone. I'll start with one and then I'll move to the other. Big chest. And then another ellipse in here for the arms and the hips. And then so go out here, and then the knees are in perspective, and then the calves, the ankles are in perspective, and now the feet will be in perspective too. When I'm drawing feet in a 3D, I kind of draw it like this. And then the other one's the opposite side. So that's kind of how I draw feet. That's just a very stylized foot. So anyway, so these are all in perspective, and then the head, a little bit, and the ellipse is also in perspective. So that's one, and let's just put them down chilling. So there's his elbow, his wrist, and then his hand is hanging down in a chilled position. Maybe this one, this is not in perspective, but this is having a drink. Okay, so that's one human. And then so I've got the hips, so I'll put in that. I'll keep these the chests in perspective. Oh, holy crap. I am having a bad drawing day. There, and then the things down there, head. Okay, and then so the shoulders line up. And his He's also, the one next door is also in a chilled position. And I'll also put that arm also in a chilled position as well. And so the knees line up, so the hips line up, the knees line up in that perspective. The ankles will line up. And once again, my foot shape there. And so then I can flesh this out with just adding some extra lines around the extremities. And start putting in the back, the shoulders. And you're not going to see his hand back there because it's hidden. And then also this one here, the back. And the feet. And so basically what I'm trying to show here is using the perspective to get all of the body parts, the knees, the ankles, all lined up, shoulders all lined up, heads more or less all lined up. And there you have a perspective of two humans sitting together. So just using these stick type characters as a base is really how I do that. So I started studying comic books. I bought some comic book, how to draw comics. And then, so they started, they're saying, you know, you draw these elements. And so, and I never really got any further than that. You know, I was like, all right, well, actually I'm good. And then they started fleshing out all these sides. And I took a few of these tips, but I never really went much further with it. I should have like got into all the muscles and stuff, but I never really did. And so
I think your screen share switched off.
oh yeah, gosh damn it, I wonder what's wrong. I'm not even messed up or anything. So I'm gonna start. Did you see that perspective stuff, or did it just shut off?
It just did it like maybe like 30 seconds ago.
Okay, I don't know why it did that. But you got that perspective stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. So what should we do for the next 30 minutes? Let's just hold on. Next 45 minutes. So I was going to draw, kids. Let's say you want to draw kids. So kids are kind of little plumpish and short. So let's start off with a human. I mean, not a human, an adult. So long calves, long upper legs. This is where the pelvis is, chest, face. Okay, so it's okay. Now it's an adult. Okay, but then a kid. God damn it, these guys, they're really working on the roof a lot. Oh, kids, so they're down here. They look up a lot. They have big heads, and they're just very and then holding hands as they do. So they're like a lot more stocky. Maybe he's looking down at him, at the kid. Let's try another kid. Really got me going here as far as testing. Let me try another kid. And this one's sitting. Sitting in a chair. And let me put in some details with a Sharpie. Maybe if they have shorts on, put in these ellipses, a little shadow, maybe tube socks. Maybe a short sleeve shirt. The lips around the, and then, I don't know, Superman. And background with a chair. And I'll just fill that in with some generic. Hey, full disclosure, I forgot to record this.
It looks like it's recording actually.
Really? Let me see.
Yes.
I'm stopping share just to see if it is recording. Oh, it is recording. You're right. Okay, great. I'll share again. Visualizer. Okay. Let's see if I can flesh this out a little bit. So this is a little bit in perspective. The kid is a little bit in the foreground, but let me see if I can. Just flesh in this. So kind of using ellipses to describe. It's got a t-shirt. Ellipses underneath for trousers. Around here a little bit because trousers wrinkle up kind of as they get near the bottom of the as they get up to the shoe area. This is a t-shirt. The t-shirt hangs underneath, so the t-shirt hangs underneath and then the arm comes out and then they're holding hands. However that looks. Eyes, little nose. And then the adult, let's put him on as a t-shirt. So he lips around where the shirt is and he's looking down at the kid. There's his nose, his chest. Waist, the t-shirt underneath. Let's just put in holding hands. And so there, his arm's going to come down. I want his arm to come down here. God damn. Screwed up his head quite a lot. Some shadow under his t-shirt. T-shirt kind of hangs under there. I see a little t-shirt hang off there. Shadow. Shadow underneath some crotchy stuff. Put some shadows behind his leg. A little bit right here. So the light is going to be coming from here. So just some shadow of that, the t-shirt. A little bit more shadow behind him. Kid's going to have a shadow. It's going to have a shadow under here and then underneath his armpit. Some crotchy stuff. A little bit in between the legs. There's a shadow. T-shirt shadow. Some laces. Laces here. And well, there we go. And maybe some little shadow, maybe just some simple shadow like and some shadow around this guy. Maybe he's holding something. Some shadows underneath his arms. Shadows on his side. Shadows in his leg and some crotchy stuff. Behind his legs. Because my light source is over here. Some shoes. In the side of his head. And this guy, maybe I can just cover all that up because that's his face. At least you see his nose. But anyway, I gave you a warning. I said, all right, guys, I kind of suck at humans. So don't think I suck too bad now. Some wrinkles. Watch. Huh. Whoa. Stresses me out. Drawing something I'm not used to. Okay. What else? Okay, let's put some marker on this. I'm going to use a Cool 60. And I'm going to just go inside. Just all the pieces that are going to be in shadow. Side of his head. Shadow of his head. Hands, I'm not going to get in there. There's that. Let's put in a logo in there. Let's put a star. And this guy behind his arms, underneath his armpits and behind his back, because as I say, the light's here. His face is covered basically. Some wrinkles, some blotchy stuff. Shoes gonna be a little bit in shadow there. Probably some, underneath his arm on this side. And then for this little guy, this chubby little guy, behind his arms, his head here, shadow of his head, a little underneath his arm, whatever these things are. Shade in that whole side of his hand, that part of his hand. Underneath his feet, shadow. And this guy's shadow is going to be this way. And this kid's shadow is going to be this way because of the light source. Let's just put a ball back there. And some grass. We're in the playing field. So grass, how I like to do grass is little like heartbeats. Kind of a little stylish. Kind of basically this. Little tiny sprigs because it's not freshly cut, but and then since we're in the outdoor, ball shadow. So you can put this grass stuff randomly around in front of the ball. And you use the grass to overshadow some things like in front of their feet, but you don't really see that. But anyway, maybe where the shadow is, you just put a little more grass because the shadow is coming down. So there. Let's put in some clouds. This is how I like to do clouds. I'm gonna go with something lighter. I'm gonna go with the Cool 20. There's so many ways to do clouds, but this is my favorite. I like to do a straight line. And then I like to just and start adding layers. And then another line just for the layers of those clouds. And as they go back in perspective, clouds, they get smaller. So as you go down, because we're kind of looking up a little bit, just clouds going smaller and smaller as you go back. That's how I like to do clouds. And as the sun is this way, we're going to make this side of the clouds a little bit more, a little bit with shadows on that side. My cat is just so spoiled. So that's how I like to do clouds. Basically, bottom line is clouds. And I also love this for some smoke stuff. So let me just put in some Sharpie. Some layers of these clouds. These lines, and then as I go back, make it smaller. I framed him too well. I framed him. I put the cloud right around him. He's so well framed, it looks cheesy. Okay, but as you go back, they get smaller. Oh yeah, and underneath the clouds, there's big shadows. This is a cool 40. Let's put in some massive shadows underneath the clouds. This is dead. I'm gonna get another one. Cool 20. Cool 40. I'm now learning that these Blick markers really run out fast. I haven't even used them much. They are running out, so maybe you get what you pay for type thing. Not that I paid for them, but I know they're cheap. I would never buy these anyway. So I'm a bit of a snob. Let's test this. That works. So big shadows underneath the clouds because they are massive. And then a little bit more here and there, a few little randomy. It's a cloudy day. It's coming. It's coming. Well, while we're at it, let's put in the horizon. So the clouds are down there. This is the horizon. There's going to be, let's do the proverbial desert scene with the flat top stuff. I'm in a habit of doing these flat tops because it really brings back memories of Texas for me. So, but I'm not saying they're good memories. And then some little spikies inside this because they have this kind of jagged, straight edge flat tops. That's where the UFOs land. And as I'm on that, I might, there's like other little pieces that come out because it's in perspective and as it gets closer to us. So anyway, that's a desert landscape. And I'll put some shadows in that too with my cool 40. Just right in here, just some, not on everything. Just in the back stuff. Maybe some, I don't know. I'm not really used to drawing this type of stuff. Okay, so that's a family scene with a random kid sitting in a hovering chair. Let's see. This doesn't truly show what it looks like. It really looks more like Kind of looks like that. Let's focus it. But I have to accentuate this a little bit because you can't see on my marker. It's blurry. I wonder why. Okay. Now let's draw something different. I'm not used to drawing kids and humans like that at all. Way out of my comfort zone. So now I'm going to draw something in my comfort zone, which is more product-y stuff. If you don't mind, unless, do you have a special request? Anyone? What are you I know basically what you're working on. Is there something I can help you with? Anyone in particular?
If you like drew figures or people like holding certain types of power tools, that would be cool.
Yep.
Like I know I'm doing the angle grinder, Max is doing the orbital sander. I think Stephanie's doing the pole saw still. So just like kind of like half bodies, maybe like from torso up, kind of like holding those.
I got you. We get some paper. Okay. So power tools, I'm gonna go this cool gray route again because it seems to work. That one's dead. This goes in the trash. That was a short-lived marker. Okay, another 40. I think this is a fresh one. So who was asking? Danielle, Trace, not Trace.
That was me.
No.
Kat.
I heard you, Katerina, but who was asking about the markers? Darius. Darius, are you still here? Oh, Darius. Hey, Darius. You were asking about markers,
Hey.
and
Right.
these Blick Studio pens, they don't last at all. Don't get them.
Okay.
It's gonna waste.
Yeah, I heard you. Yeah, I heard you.
Yeah, so they're cheap, but they don't last. So you're wasting money on these things.
Yeah, I'll cross them off the list then.
Good. Okay, let me just focus on this. Okay, and lock that down. And let me test the marker to see if you can see that. Nope, let me just get that exposure changed a little bit. Yeah, so you can see my marks. Tools. All right, so let me just imagine what it's like. So the dude is standing up and he's grinding with two hands like that. He's grinding, or he's grinding like that. All right, let me draw a grinder first, just a quick grinder, and then it comes out like this, and there's the main body, and then the head thing, whatever that is.
Sorry, Brooke, can you screen share?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Please, thank you. Okay. Screen share and visualizer. Okay. So I was just doing a basic grinder. So, and I'm just imagining the guys holding like this, and the guys holding the thing like that. So, okay, so hand. That's one arm. This is the other arm. So thumb goes around here like this, and the other part of the hand is going around here like that. Wrist goes up. Okay. So that's that part. And so his other hand is holding it. This one's like that, and the other one's like that. So thumb's going around. And then it's actually, And the hand comes up like that. Like that looks, man, God, I'm on a bad day. Let's try another one. Let's try another one. Let's keep on this. I would think I would photograph my hands. So hold on. Let's just see. So you know what? Let's just get a picture of an angle grinder, dude. If I have to fight it, it means I'm wasting time. No point in fighting this thing. Just cut to the chase and just cheat this sucker out. Angle grinder. Okay, I'm gonna share my desktop. There's no point in fighting it if. So let's do my desktop so you can see where I'm coming from. Okay, can you see my desktop with Google?
It's the gallery view right now.
Oh. Okay, try again. Desktop 1, okay, there we go. Okay, can you see my Google desktop? My Google thing?
Yeah, we can.
Angle grinder. Holding. I'm just gonna say holding. Angle grinder. Holding an angle grinder. Because this is how I would do it. Because I don't want to. So there's some pretty cheesy shots. Working, and I want them working, not this cheesy stuff. This one's pretty good. This is pretty good. But we want a good view of the angle grinder. There, this is not so bad. This is a good one. 3 picks, thank you very much. I'm gonna take you up on that offer. Throw that in on my desktop. Open in Photoshop. Oops. Down desktop. And there, throw that into Photoshop. It's gonna be fun. Now I'm back in my comfort zone. Image, grayscale mode to grayscale. Honestly, I would seriously recommend buying a printer and a scanner if I were you, if you can afford it, or get it for Christmas, because it will really make things easy for you. I'm gonna turn this, let's just get rid of this stupid brush. Okay. Going to double click on that so it's not background anymore. I'm gonna make a new layer of a solid white background right here. Move it behind my image so I don't get that checkerboard stuff. These hands are gonna be perfect. Okay, reduce the opacity. Now I'll be able to draw this like a beast. Turn it right down, probably about 20%. Okay, we're good. And print. A little bit bigger. And print. You know, this is a reality. If I was sucking at drawing hands, which I basically was, then I'm gonna just print this thing out and make it actually look really good, because my strong point is not humans. So why give them shitty humans? I'm gonna print this out and make it look awesome. Okay, I'm going to show you see my desktop. You are all good with that. And I'll get my piece of paper. I know it's dark, I know. I'm just gonna swap this out. 1 sec, stop sharing for just a second. Turn off visualizer because there's bugs on this software for this. So I'm gonna turn it off, put visualizer, and I've got to unplug it also. And now it should work. And I'll turn on my turn on my screen share. Wait, let me turn on the visualizer first. Okay, and I'm going to share my visualizer with you. Okay. So this is the printout I have. See my hand, this is a printout, it's on paper, on letter size paper. Now I can get in there really efficiently. And I'm gonna go straight in there with the Sharpie. And I'm gonna start drawing in my device first. Oh, and here's the handle. Now is when I start putting in the hands. I like kind of adding, since this is a manly device, I like making the hands look kind of squarey. And I'm good like that. I'm fine. Wrist, and we put in some nice okay, that's good. And I'll focus on the design now more. Even though I can't see the hands completely in my photocopy, I don't really care because I'm just going to. So now it's all in proportion. Let's get in there with the design and pop this out, but don't go into the hands hard. You really want to focus on your angle grinder. This comes down. Okay. I guess this is a switch where his thumb is. And bottom lines are going to be darker. He's going to cast a shadow. His thumb's going to cast a shadow. And then there's going to be a shadow going into that. I'm going to start shading in the shadow. But definitely don't jack with the hands. Just leave them empty silhouettes. I wouldn't even put fingernails in because fingernails can be pretty bad. Okay, the light's coming from above, so I'm going to definitely put in some little shadows where these holes are, some styling. Let's just adjust that light, it's too dark. There we go. And focus. Okay. Put in a few more details and then I'm going to show you what it looks like when you scan it in. The only thing I'm going to do with the hands, in this case, see that was so much faster and less painful. I'm going to drop in shadows and I'll shade those in, but that's the only thing I'm doing with the hands. And so it's sunlight, I'm going to say is coming from about here roughly. So I'm going to Drop in some other shadows. This whole thing's going to be dark inside here because it's all in shadow. And here, back here. Okay, and now I'll put in some like details on my, but just honestly, just trace that stuff. Trace the hands, trace that whole context, and now you can just add your own device in there. That's how I've always gotten away with it. I mean, creating nice drawings, but with, I use the context. A little bit more shading down here. On, off. And as long as you just have something like this, you know, I guess you're good as far as you don't need to put the whole design in. It really depends on what you guys want to show. Because if you want to show the whole grinder and it in context with hand, you just have to look on the internet to try to find whatever's the best, most suitable situation. And a little bit around here. Let's just put in a little shading in here. Okay. I'll put in a little marker now. Cool 40. With the marker, I don't mind putting in shadows on the hand. So I'll just do it. The light's coming from there, so that's where my joints are. I'm not going to mess with that too much. And here, shadow underneath that, his thumb. All this is going to be shadow. Down here, a little bit of shadow around there. Okay. A little bit back here. And this guy. And let's put some sparks. It rotates. Does it rotate towards you? Grinding, or does it rotate away from you? Probably rotates
Towards you.
So the sparks would be coming this way. Towards you.
It depends on where the guide is. So the little guard, so it shoots the sparks kind of down at an angle.
Oh, it's going to go down like this. It's going to go this way. All right. So I think it's going to go like this. Oh, you can't see. Let me just adjust this stupid light again. Because now the sun's coming out. So I'm thinking the sparks come out that way, no?
The sparks would actually come out the other way.
Oh, really? All right, then. Okay. And just so I can remember that, I'm going to use a pen. So how I'm flicking this is, I'm flicking it because they would look like this, the sparks, I think. So that's why I'm doing it this way. because they fly out. Really? It doesn't look right, but okay, I'm fine. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Some shadow from the angle grinder itself, the machine. A little shadow underneath the guard. Okay, there we go. So that's way better than if I was drawing my own hand. Just trace that. Pull off a few images of them holding grinders or the sanders. And that's how I would deal with that. Last lesson was a bit of a workout for me, I have to say. I was out of my comfort zone. I'm gonna go on a bike ride. So how are your studio projects coming along? Are you doing well?
Okay.
Who's in charge? Like who's
So I have Shock.
Oh yeah, Shock, he's good. And so everyone's doing.
I have.
Please, Khan, tell me.
We have a new faculty called Elizabeth.
Oh,
I guess.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
And so is it going well for everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So it's,
Yeah, Shock is moving us along pretty fast. So we're already like designing our like second design for our angle grinders and tools and stuff right now.
oh, really? Don't you create a bunch of ideas first and then you choose one and then you take it all the way to the end?
Yeah, so right now he's having us, we did our first design and we built a foam core mock-up of it. And then what he's having us do is do a second design based on like different inspiration. And then I think he's gonna probably have us do like a third one and then we like choose which one, or we just like kind of like build off of the components we like of all three and like just make our final.
Are any of you working from home, or do you all have access to CCS? Because how do you make a foam core if you're like somewhere else?
Well, for foam core, I only go to like CCS once a week. So like if I'm like at home or if I'm at the house where I babysit at, I usually just bring like my cutting mat and my foam core and my X-Acto knife, and I just like assemble it there with like tape and glue and stuff like that.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I was thinking you might need workshops and everything but you have access, Katerina, to like sand without getting things dirty, like in a garage or something, or?
Yeah, I have a garage. We'll probably like have to build like a purple foam mock-up soon, so we'll probably need shop access for that. But some of like classmates, they don't like ever show up for class; they're just online only. So I don't know how they're gonna do that.
Right, right. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Do you have to do a CAD model?
I don't think he's gonna require it, but a couple of my classmates are like super into 3D, so they're they're like insistent on like immediately doing 3D. So he'll probably let them just do that since it's a lot easier. Plus, we're not coming back after the winter break, so it's like 2-3 weeks that we lose of production time and like building and making stuff.
You're not coming back after winter break. What, you mean after Christmas?
After the Thanksgiving. So we
Oh.
have that Thanksgiving like small winter break for like those 3 days, and then they're like, you're not coming back. Everything's like remote only.
Damn, all the way up until Christmas holiday. Wow.
Yeah, all the way up until winter semester of 2021.
Man, it's crazy. These times are just absolutely nuts. Okay then, class. Well, anyway, it's 3:30. I'm stiff and exhausted now. That was, you put me through my ringer there. So anyway, I still had fun, even though I was like tortured. Okay then, guys. Anyway, I will see you on Tuesday and have a great weekend. Homework is, yeah, just continue working on your projects, your studios and what have you. And this time for homework, put in some human elements. If you want to trace it off the internet or you want to try drawing your own hands. But next homework, definitely include a lot of human elements. So you really start to master that.
Sounds good.
Okay then, guys. Okay, well, thank you all, and I will see you soon. And I'll leave my thing on a little bit if anyone wants to talk to me. So I'll leave it on, but if you want to go, it's fine. And I'm here in case you want to talk. I'll just turn on my mute and turn off my video camera, but I'm here if you want to talk to me about anything.
Okay.
Okay, see you all.
All right, thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
Hey Trace, how's it going, man?
It's going all right. I just want to kind of apologize because I know I'm behind, but I'm gonna work diligently to get back in shape and get a good portfolio for this class. It's just been a kind of rough last month, couple weeks.
No. I understand, man. So you have you're good to give me work whenever you get a chance. Basically, I think it's got to be as long as it's before the end of semester.
Right.
And just keep on trucking, man. You're brave, and yeah, sorry to hear about that craziness.
All right. We'll get through it. It's good that I'm home for all this. It's been nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been stressful. I'm taking 6 classes, and I'm trying to work 2 or 3 shifts a week, which are 8-hour shifts at the golf course. Just because money's thin.
Mm-hmm.
Coronavirus has really affected helping my parents put me through school. So
right.
I'm just busy, man. It's just crazy. Everything's just hectic. So I've been under a lot of stress, but I'm gonna get through this semester, and I'm gonna get caught up. I expect by next week I'll be able to kind of get back in the flow of uploading 7 assignments every week. So.
No, you're totally cool, bro. You're totally cool, and this is making you even stronger because you're already a strong designer, but then with all of this added stress and working and the COVID and your mom and all that, man, you're gonna be a beast because you're already a beast, and you're not even on top performance levels right now. So, dude, you're all good in my book, and I'm feeling you. So it's all good.
I really appreciate that.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll keep you updated if anything else comes up, but anticipate me to get back in the flow of things and start cranking out some good designs for you.
Awesome, buddy. I appreciate it, man. All right, then you have a good weekend then.
You too.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
Man.
Bye.
Okay, see you.